How's everybody doing today? I'm here with Heritage Handcrafts, and today we're going to be making a simple card holder. And I'm going to throw some textures on it and do a little extra than just the normal uh, leather aesthetic. So we're going to get into it. I've already made some templates, and when I can figure out how to put these templates onto PDFs, I will start linking them in the comments, or I will link them in the description down below. But until then, I can just kind of give you measurements and go off this. So this one is 5 inches across there, and then 3.5 top to bottom. Took a 45 off this. I had made just a little decorative outside piece to go along with it, just to add some character to it. So it's not just a folded piece of leather. But we will get this down, we'll get it cut out, and start putting it together and add some of those touches. I used to flip it over on the back, put my template down, and just mark it with a permanent marker. But sometimes I would forget to put my template the correct way. By the way, these are just old cardboard boxes, like fruit roll-up cereal boxes. And then I would end up cutting out a piece, and I would have the wrong side, so my finished side wouldn't be out. It would be the inner grain side. And they got super frustrated after spending so much time working on something, and then it's all wasted because you cut out the wrong piece, and then you have to redo it, waste leather. You kind of had a useless piece, depending on how big it was. Like if I use this piece and I cut it out of something, I could maybe make a key fob holder or something out of it. But usually it was a weird shape, angle design, so it was kind of useless after I did that. So now I usually try to use a scratch awl and mark it deep enough on the front. That way I know what's what. But it comes with the downside of sometimes the lines are faint on these. They're kind of hard to see. Yeah, like y'all can't even see that on the camera right now. I doubt it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and we'll go to the next step. Alright, so this next part is kind of a make or break moment for the project. I've been trying to figure out how to marble leather with acrylic paint. You can go buy marbling paints, anything like that. Acrylic's cheap, and it's kind of washable. So yeah, I've been playing around with it, and it's like I said, it is a make or break moment. Sometimes you get something that has like a decent look to it. The camera will pick it up. But other times it just comes out like a splotchy mess. I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder on this one. So it works great with veg tan. Nothing waxed, anything like that, of course. I have this darker leather that doesn't really absorb anything that soaks up water real well. It does pretty good on, but darker stuff kind of throws it off. So how I've been doing this, and I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do it. I got acrylic paint, mix up the color I want. You want a little bit of water in there just to make it flow a little better. Keep it from drying up super quick, and let it spread. I'll take it. This might need a little bit more water, actually. And I have just a squirt bottle that makes it easier to put water in there without overdoing it. Mixing that water. You can kind of spread it out like that. And I mean, if you want, you can just go straight onto the leather like this. I just want it kind of to smudge out a little bit, if that makes sense. Smear. And it's either going to look good or horrible. So, this is like an optional part of the build here. Get some contrasting colors in here. So I can remember how to speak. Alright. Let's see how it goes. Moment of truth. I press it down. Yeah, that's not too bad. Not too terrible. I'd like some more copper color in there, but if you put some more copper on there, you get a different look every time. Then you can add water to it. You just gotta kind of play around with this with a little bit of a scrap. After I get done with this, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna wax it, and this bed stand tends to get a little darker after I do that. Add another color in here. Let's see if we can set that to the side, let it dry. See if we can ruin the next one. Hopefully not. We'll try it a little bit different. So I'm gonna mix. Let's spread it out here like I did. Actually, I'm gonna try painting it out here like it was. Going for that. Add some water. This will probably fail and I'll have to cut it out again. So if you see a cut in the video and then there's a different piece out there, you'll know what happened. See if I can add some of this. Let's see. Get that copper color in there. Maybe should have gone with gold, this turquoise-ish color. But this is just kind of what I was feeling today. Alright, let's see where we're at. Ooh, that was close. I'm gonna layer down. Yep, I'm gonna lay it down. Push it in. Say a quick prayer. Oh, yeah, kind of Kind of got too watery and went haywire on that one, like I said. It's a fine line. Like if you use a some scrap pieces, you can kind of tweak and adjust and figure it out, but I'm hoping these go together pretty good. We'll see in the end what it looks like. I'll know before you, and if it looks horrible, you'll never see this video. If it looks, Alright, I'm going to clean up here and then we'll go on. After I wax it, I'm going to bevel the edges on the spots I won't be able to get to after it's put together. And after I bevel those edges, we're going to burnish it with some Tokonol. Let's see if that wax brings out the darkness of this leather. A little bit of wax, a little bit of canvas. Alright, my AC kicked on, but we're going to get in here close. It'll focus. We're going to bevel the edges where we can't get once this is folded up. Like so. So we're going to do this top edge. We can get it, but it's a little easier when it's flatter. And this one is going to be super hard to get. And then these little side ones down here. These ones down here are real hard to get once it's put together. So we'll go ahead and get into that. Edge bubbler. Get that knocked out. You're just knocking off that right angle there. It's nothing crazy. Might actually make this side look a little better. Put some color in there. Alright, then we're going to I'm going to sand it. I'm going to hit it with some, where is it? It's like 3 or 600. I think it might be 600 grit sandpaper. That just kind of brings it down a little bit. And I have some, probably like a 150, like fingernail file on both sides. I'll start with the big one, step it down to the smaller 300, or 600, my bad. And then this will it'll focus. So it'll fuzz it up a little bit. And then once we come back with that binder grit, it knocks all that down. So I'm just gonna sand this and get back with you. So I did sanded them down. I'm gonna put some leather finish burnishing gum on there. And I'm gonna burnish it. Then I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna hit it again with the 600 grit and get it nice and smooth and polished. Then we'll work on punching some holes in here. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I kind of get this token all everywhere. Thankfully, this one's already waxed, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem. That wax will protect it. Just go here, knock this down, get it all uniform. Alright, now that we got these burnished, nice and shined up. I'm going to go ahead and knock the edge off this bottom one, just because once it's folded over in our wallet, it's going to be real hard to bevel that edge. So I'll do it now. I'm not going to burnish it. That'll be for later on, once we get further down this process. You're going to knock the edge off of it. Like so. There we go. Now we're going to try and line this stuff up, punch holes, and stitch it together. Get everything good. And on this template, I left this, see if it'll focus. I left these edges a little longer because different leathers have different thicknesses. And if we're going to be folding this on a different, thicker leather than what we got here, it'll need a bigger bend. You'll need more of it. There's about a 1/2 inch over. So this is 5 inches across. This is 5.5 inches across. So we'll get this stuck together so we can figure out where we need to put or where we need to cut and put holes and all that. So take this first one. This probably be a better way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first one that's stuck. I'm going to cut it off right there like so. Make sure it's still even. Then I'll flip it over and we'll cut this other one. Alright, now that we're ready to put our stitching holes in there, we need some lines to follow. I have this wing divider here, and it is set to just a little under 1/4 inch. What we're going to do is we're just going to follow the edge. You're going to trace a line, but it keeps it nice and straight, and then we know where our stitch is going to go. And it doesn't look all wavy and crooked and all over the place. Alright, now that we got this set up, I want to kind of mark out where my holes are going to go. That way I'm not splitting the leather in a weird spot right there. Not splitting it weird right there. Or ending in a bad spot. And you just put it in the last hole you made. This might cut that a little bit, but I think the thread will hold it. Should be alright. Then I might have to see if y'all can see this. So I'm ending right here, but I need to go, I can go down just a little bit and I'll punch a double. They come with different sets. I think it's like a 2, a 4, and a 6. Something like that. Alright, usually when I'm going to sew something up, I will take about a needle's worth of thread extra. and add a little bit to it. I'll just follow my holes. Go alright, I went to here, and go back up and go, I went to here, right? And then once I have that, I'm going to double that. Because I got 2 needles and I go through multiple layers. Because we're going to do a saddle stitch. And then after I do that, I will take just it's about 3 times. Loop it over again. And then a little extra. So it's not expensive. It's better to have more at the end than less. Alright, so I thread the needle. I don't know if I'll be able to focus in on this. Poke it through the eye. Get out of there. That's not the interesting part. We'll poke it through the eye. I'll take a little bit of the tail. And I spread that thread out. I'll poke it back through itself. Like, try and shoot for the middle of it. But since it's braided and weaved, or it's weaved together, you can poke into it. You take that and pull it. And it's a very slim, secure fastener. Occasionally, if you're dealing through or going through multiple pieces of leather, it'll slide back here and then pop off. But you can always fix that. That's why I add a little extra. So I'm going to sew this up. Then I'm going to get this other on here and then I'll show you how we're going to sew it up. So start from the top up here. We're going to come back around and down here we're going to finish it off. Because I want to come up through here in between and tie my knot when we finish it off. And if you've never seen a saddle stitch before, basically you go through the first hole. You want to even out your thread so your needles are even. Then you push both needles through the same hole on opposite sides. Like so. Push them through. Pull them. Tighten it up. And you just continue that all the way down. One needle on each side. Going towards each other. Back and forth, back and forth. Okay, now that we're at the end, what I did was I came all the way back to my last hole on both sides, and then I'm gonna stitch back forward, back this way. Instead of going all the way through like you have been doing, we want to come up in between them. Tie an overhand knot in here, cut it down, and melt it closed. Alright, so we're going to get our edge beveler. Knock off these edges. Already did that one. Get down here and get this one. A really sharp edge beveler comes in handy because it's all wrinkled and a little thin from being tugged and pulled on. I also think I'm going to take off this corner just to round everything over. I guess I missed all that. Anyways, what I was saying was you take your toconol, you put it on here, you rub it in with your fingers, let it get saturated and soak into the fibers. Then you take your wooden slicker here after a little bit, and you can kind of hear it sticking a little bit. So once we're sticking and it's starting to mush everything into where it needs to be, we're going to take that canvas, we're going to go over it. And we'll probably do this 2, maybe 3 times. Alright, well there we have it. It's all done. I mean, if you want to, you could paint those edges. I think it turned out alright. Like I said, that you don't have to go with the painting technique like I did. You can just leave it. I was just playing around with some different ideas instead of just regular leather. Trying to come up with some uniqueness, customization. It's just hard to do with, and you can buy a leather dye. It's just, I had the acrylic laying around the house. I thought it would be interesting to try. Thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all like and subscribe, and God bless.